Every once in a while, a watch lands on your desk that makes you pause for a second, not because it's from a big brand or carries some decade-old history, but because it dares to do different. And right here, the Meridian Equinox is one of those watches. Now, before we go any further, just to be clear, this video is not sponsored. This is a genuine hands-on look at a watch I wanted to check because it looked really promising on paper. Now, Meridian isn't one of those heritage names you have grown up hearing about. It's a very young brand from India, and that's exactly what makes it interesting, because here's a microbrand trying to make something that feels premium, mechanical, and wearable without costing a fortune. And that's a space I absolutely love exploring. In today's video, we are unboxing the Equinox Champagne Dawn, checking out its design, finish, specs, and yes, figuring out if it really deserves a spot on your wrist. So let's find out if the Equinox really shines like the Dawn it's named after. Hello, welcome back to our channel Wristworthy, where we put watches under a microscope so you don't have to buy blind. I'm your host Mohit, and let me tell you, this one's been on my radar for a while. The Meridian Equinox, specifically this Champagne Dawn variant. It promises a lot on paper, like an automatic movement, sapphire crystal, stainless steel case, and that striking sector dial. But paper specs don't always translate into the wrist feel. So that's what we are about to find out. So grab your favorite drinks and settle in, because by the end of this video, you'll know whether this watch is just a hype or genuinely wrist-worthy. Indian Microbrands are an emerging segment of independent, often small batch watchmakers, blending local heritage with global horological trends, such as Bangalore Watch Company, known for Swiss movements and contemporary Indian-inspired designs, and Jaipur Watch Company, which incorporates vintage Indian coins and stamps into handcrafted luxury watches. Other notable brands are Delhi Watch Company, Ajwain Watches, Argos, and Meridian. Let's talk a little about Meridian as a brand, because I know many of you might be hearing the name for the first time. Meridian is a very young Indian microbrand that's been slowly building a reputation for producing thoughtful and design-driven watches. So while they are not a household name yet, Meridian is definitely a brand that's trying to earn its place on wrist through substance rather than status. The watch comes in with a case diameter of 39mm, that sweet middle ground that works for most wrist sizes. The thickness is 11mm, which is balanced enough to slide under a cuff comfortably. And the lug width is 20mm, which means you've got endless strap options available if you want to swap out the bracelet later. The watch is priced at 8,999 Indian rupees, which is about $110 US. That's aggressive pricing for an automatic watch with sapphire crystal, sector dial, and a solid case. Meridian offers multiple colorways in the Equinox line: Eclipse Black, Celeste Blue, Heritage Green, Imperial Green, Regal Black, and of course, the Champagne Dawn among them. The Champagne Dawn is their warm tone champagne salmon hue option. In this price bracket, you'll bump into brands like Pagani Design or Delhi Watch Company. Pagani Design is known for well-finished cases, solid movements, often Japanese, but sometimes the finishing or detailing is more generic, or what you call heavily inspired. Delhi Watch Company works hard on connecting with local Indian buyers. They deliver the Indian feel and gives you something made for the Indian market. Their dial work, finishing, and brand story often resonate more locally. So the Meridian has to fight not just for specs, but for that emotional placement. And can it match or exceed what DWC gives you in the same price bracket? That is a big question. Meridian brings you a sapphire crystal, a Miyota 8215 automatic movement, and that elegant sector dial, while DWC counters with the Heritage 2.0, featuring a dual-layered dial protected by sapphire glass and the same Miyota heart, and a classic fluted bezel design. I'd say it competes well on paper when held side by side with the DWC watch. Moving on, it's made from 316L stainless steel, and the way it catches the light gives it a very premium look. The case of the watch feels surprisingly refined. You've got a mix of brushed and polished finishes. But wait, I guess I have seen this case before. Similar style cases are available with Pagani Design 1751 and 1692. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not a knockoff version of these watches. In watch world, it is called taking inspiration or homage. The shape is classic and timeless and sits naturally on the wrist. The bezel is fixed and polished. It's simple, reflective, and does its job of framing the dial beautifully. The color pairing of the silver-toned case with that champagne dial just works. It's one of those combinations that look effortlessly good in both daylight and warm indoor lighting. There's a signed crown at 3 o'clock, which is easy to operate, It's push and pull type, nothing fancy, but feels sturdy when you set the time. When you flip it over, you'll see a see-through case back giving you a peek at the Miyota 8215 automatic movement inside. It looks rather plain, to be honest. I was secretly hoping for some heat-treated screws or maybe a gold rotor that would have spiced it up nicely. But then again, I also wish for 100 crores, and we all know how that's going. But you still get that lovely mechanical heartbeat, the spinning rotor, the balance wheel moving, and that quiet satisfaction of real automatic. The case back itself is minimal, clean and functional. No branding, just the essentials. The case feels thoughtfully built. You get good weight, neat finishing, and the kind of comfort that doesn't demand attention. The first thing you'll probably notice when you pick up the watch is that Jubilee style bracelet. And I must say, it's one of those designs that immediately adds a touch of character. The 5-link pattern gives it that classic shimmer when light hits, and it's surprisingly comfortable for long wears. The fit and finish on bracelet are good for the price. The outer links have a brushed finish, while the inner ones are polished. The watch uses a butterfly clasp, and there is no branding on the bracelet. That said, the bracelet could use just a touch more refinement, but for something in this price segment, it's pretty fair. The comfort is spot on. It drapes nicely and doesn't pinch the skin. And yes, if you love swapping straps, that 20mm lug width gives you endless possibilities. Throw it on a leather strap or maybe even a narrow strap and it instantly changes the mood of the watch. Let me know in the comments if you want me to make a video of the watch with different straps. The watch uses a sapphire crystal, but there was no mention of anti-reflective coating. You get a sharp, unhindered view of that stunning sector dial underneath. Now this is the part that caught me. That sector dial makes you pause mid-scroll. The moment you see it, you know it. This isn't just another copy-paste dial. The color, officially called Champagne Dawn, sits somewhere between copper and soft rose gold. It's subtle and elegant, but what really elevates it is the sector style layout. Meridian's execution is clean. The print is sharp, spacing is balanced, and it's all neatly contained within that polished bezel. Sadly, there is no lume. The indices are applied and minimal. Slim baton style markers that matches the tone of the hands. The hands themselves are leaf shaped with mirror polish, catching light beautifully against the warm dial. They're legible without being loud, something a lot of brands at this level struggle with. There is no date window. Honestly, I like to have a date window on my watches, but not on this one. It keeps the dial symmetrical and pure. It's one of those rare cases where less really is more. At the center, the finishing is sandy, and the radial brushing around the outer sector gives it a sense of depth. The watch looks very good on paper. It feels promising. When I lifted it out of the box, there was a mild sense of anticipation. Will it deliver? It's not going to outfinish any Swiss watch, but for what you pay, you're getting a lot. The movement, Miyota 8215, is a reliable workhorse. You might not notice it, but it's the same engine that keeps countless watches ticking smoothly. It's a Japanese automatic movement made by Citizen's Miyota division, and it's known for being robust, affordable, and low maintenance. With this movement, you get 42 hours of power reserve, and it can be compared directly with Seiko's NH35. Water resistance is only 50 meters, which is enough for daily wear like washing hands and light splashes. I would like to highlight about the packaging, which is quite minimalist. It's not bad per se, but there's a room for a lot of improvement. The case doesn't deliver the luxury unboxing ooze you might be hoping for. I personally don't care much about boxes, but presentation can influence first impressions. Given all that, the watch is a strong value proposition, especially if you like clean, thoughtful designs. And here are the pros and cons. Now that we have gone through the specs of the watch, it's time to try this on and find out if it is wrist-worthy or not. The dial immediately catches the eye. On my 7-inch wrist, it feels confident and somehow effortless. The weight is reassuring. You know something is on your wrist, but it's not overbearing. The Jubilee bracelet is pure comfort. I could wear it all day without thinking twice. There is no date, so you don't fiddle with the calendar adjustments, which is one less thing to worry about. I think medium to slightly large wrists will suit it best. If your wrist is very slim, the lug-to-lug might just peek over edges. The watch holds steady and the crown doesn't dig. In lower light, reading the time is okay, but not stellar. Also, the minimalistic box left me wanting a more premium unbox moment. But then again, it's packaging, not what you wear. Overall, the watch gives you a satisfying feeling. You sense trade-offs like case design could have been better, water resistance could have been improved, but you also gain real stance like sapphire crystal and movement. So here is where I land. The watch is a compelling value contender. It has real strengths like sapphire crystal, sector dial, a known movement, good aesthetic choice, and a few compromises, but nothing really game breaking. For me, it's a buy with eyes open. You get more than a base level automatic at this price. It's not perfect, but it earns its place. I'd wear it, admire it, and expect it to perform without drama for years. If Meridian continues improving packaging, bracelet finishing, and water resistance in future iterations, I'd be very excited to see where they go next. And we are yet to explore their post-sale services. In conclusion, the Meridian Equinox Champagne Dawn is one of those rare finds where design, movement, and feel come together nicely. It's a watch that makes you think, for 9,000 rupees, can I get something better? The answer is maybe, but not many will give you this mix of beautiful dial design and a solid automatic movement. It's a solid step in Meridian's growth, and I hope they continue iterating upward. If you like what you saw, hit that like button, share it with your watch lover friends, and subscribe for more honest watch reviews. Thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting Wristworthy. I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, keep it classy and stay wristworthy.